Welcome to Cast Me If You Can.
The show where we embark on...
Oh, sorry, were you going to say something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, so welcome to Cast Me If You Can, the podcast where we embark on this cinematic journey. And today we're reviewing a hit film.
A big one.
Yeah, a huge one. James Cameron's Titanic from 1997.
Yeah, talk about a classic.
I mean, who doesn't love Titanic?
Right. It's one of those movies everyone has seen.
And we have a ton of material here. We're looking at the making of the film, what critics thought about it, how audiences just went crazy for it, and the impact it's had on, our culture,
It's a giant cultural footprint.
Yeah, totally. So our goal is to, wade through all that and pull out the most interesting stuff.
But the stuff that people really want to know.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just about, oh, yeah, remember Titanic.
Yeah.
This is about understanding, why this movie became such a phenomenon.
Yeah, why it's still so popular.
Exactly. We have info on, how the story plays out, what the critics said, the audience reactions, and some wild behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was reading about that PCP incident.
Oh, yeah, that's a story and a half.
So let's just dive right in.
Okay, let's set sail.
All right, so first things first. Let's unpack the story of Titanic itself.
The heart of the film.
Yeah, but it's more than just a ship sinking.
Oh, for sure. It's layered.
It actually starts in the present day, the present day of 1997.
Yeah.
With these treasure hunters, searching for a diamond.
The heart of the ocean.
Yes.
A legendary gem.
Totally.
And that present day setup is so smart because it pulls us into the past,
Oh, yeah.
They find a drawing of a woman wearing this diamond, and that's how we meet Rose Dawson Calvert, played by Gloria Stewart.
Old Rose.
Exactly. And her contacting the salvage crew is what launches us back to 1912.
To that fateful voyage.
Exactly.
So we're transported to April 1912 and meet the younger Rose, played by Kate Winslet.
The iconic Kate Winslet.
And she's trapped, She's stuck in this world of high society, engaged to Cal Hockley, who's played by Billy Zane.
Ugh, Cal, what a character.
I know, right? He's so controlling.
Yeah, he's the worst.
So Rose boards this supposedly unsinkable ship, which is this huge symbol of the times, class divisions, wealth, and technology.
And she's miserable.
Totally, suffocating in her circumstances.
And then we meet Jack Dawson.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, the one and only.
He's a penniless artist, but he wins a ticket on the Titanic in a poker game.
Talk about a lucky hand.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And he represents everything that Rose feels like she's missing.
Freedom, passion, a life without all those rules.
Exactly.
And their first encounter is straight out of Hollywood.
It really is. They literally bump into each other.
As Jack saves Rose from doing something pretty drastic.
Oh, yeah, at the stern of the ship.
Heavy stuff.
I know, and that's when their connection begins.
Sharks fly.
Totally. This intense, forbidden romance.
Because of the class difference.
Right, it blossoms despite all these barriers.
We see them sneaking around, stealing moments, sharing intimate conversations.
And, of course, the drawing scene.
Oh, my God, that scene.
So romantic.
It's iconic.
It really is.
And that romance is what drives the first half of the movie.
Yeah, it's like the emotional core.
For sure, but then everything changes.
When the ship hits the iceberg.
That's the turning point.
Everything shifts from this beautiful love story to utter terror.
The ship goes from this symbol of luxury to a death trap.
And Cameron makes the ship a character in itself.
Totally. It has its own presence.
Its grandeur and its sinking.
Yeah, it's all part of the tragedy.
And then it becomes about survival.
Jack and Rose trying to escape.
As everything collapses around them.
The lifeboats, the band playing people, being heroic and some being cowardly.
It's chaos.
Complete chaos.
But so well done.
Yeah, Cameron is a master at building tension.
The climax is so intense.
Watching the Titanic sink into the ocean.
And Jack making sure Rose survives.
On that piece of debris.
Oh, the door.
The infamous door.
We'll get to that later.
Oh, we will.
But Rose's whistle.
That tiny sound that saves her life.
So powerful.
And then we're back in the present.
Old Rose reveals she had the heart of the ocean all along.
She kept it hidden.
And she throws it into the sea.
Closure.
Yes, like she's letting go of the past.
Letting go of Jack.
And that final scene.
On the grand staircase.
Everyone young and beautiful.
Rose reunited with Jack.
So emotional.
To perfect ending.
So we've got this epic love story woven with this huge disaster.
Yeah, it's grand and sentimental and kind of like an opera.
With Cameron's style.
His attention to detail, those sweeping shots.
You really feel like you're there.
Transported back in time.
Totally.
But there's more to it than just the love story and the disaster.
Yeah, there are these deeper themes.
Like social class versus freedom.
Jack and Rose come from such different worlds.
And their love challenges those barriers.
Rose also finds her own strength and independence.
It's a story about liberation.
And then there's the whole idea of technology and hubris.
The Titanic was supposed to be unsinkable.
But human error and arrogance led to its demise.
And then there's the raw human instinct to survive.
When faced with unimaginable horror.
It's a lot to unpack.
It really is.
Okay, so let's switch gears a bit and talk about how this movie went from a potential disaster to a global phenomenon.
Because behind the scenes, it wasn't all smooth sailing.
Not at all. There were huge budget overruns and delays.
People thought it was going to be a flop.
Yeah, the industry was buzzing with negativity.
But then it premiered, and critics were blown away.
Not everyone, of course.
Right, there was dissenting voices.
But for the most part, critics loved it.
Like Roger Ebert.
He was a huge fan.
He praised the filmmaking and the emotional impact.
It's a movie that really makes you feel things.
And that's part of its lasting appeal.
For sure, but then you have critics like Kenneth Turan,
Who thought the script was weak.
he found the dialogue cheesy and the plot too simple.
So it's interesting to see those different perspectives.
Even with a film as successful as Titanic?
It shows that art is subjective.
Absolutely.
And when we look at the review aggregators, we see this mix of opinions.
On Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 88% tomato meter score.
Which is super high.
Yeah, critics overall really liked it.
But the audience score is lower.
At 69%.
Which is interesting.
Maybe that reflects how opinions have changed over time.
Or the impact of internet culture and memes.
Yeah, Titanic is definitely a memeable movie.
For sure.
And on Metacritic, it has a score of 75.
So again, mostly positive.
Yeah, the critical establishment embraced it.
But then there's the audience reaction.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Because audiences went crazy for Titanic.
It was a global phenomenon.
People saw it multiple times. It topped the box office for ages.
It was the highest grossing film of all time for over a decade.
That's insane.
And it sparked all these fan theories.
Like the infamous door debate.
Could Jack have fit on the door with Rose?
It's the question that haunts us all.
People have analyzed it from every angle.
Even James Cameron has weighed in.
It's become a pop culture legend.
Like a cinematic myth.
And then there are the other theories.
Like the time traveler theory.
Some people think Jack is from the future.
Based on his clothes and what he says.
It's a fun one.
And then there's the unreliable narrator theory.
That old Rose is making up the story.
Or remembering it differently.
Which is kind of heartbreaking.
It is, but it makes you think.
And let's not forget the memes.
Oh, yeah. Titanic has given us so many memes.
I'm the king of the world.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
They're instantly recognizable.
And then there's Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On.
The ultimate love ballad.
It's so cheesy, but so good.
I know, right?
And all of this keeps Titanic relevant for new generations.
It's constantly being rediscovered.
And there's still active online communities dedicated to it.
Like the Titanic subreddit.
People are still obsessed.
It's amazing.
So let's talk about some of the crazy behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, yeah, like the PCP incident.
I still can't believe that happened.
Apparently someone spiked the lobster chowder with PCP.
And like half the cast and crew got drugged.
Including James Cameron.
What a mess.
It's insane.
And then there were the budget problems.
The film went way over budget.
Over $200 million.
Which was a fortune back then.
It's a testament to Cameron's vision that he got it made.
He even forfeited his own salary to save the project.
That's dedication.
He really believed in the film.
And the casting could have been so different.
Matthew McConaughey was almost Jack.
Can you imagine?
And Gwyneth Paltrow could have been Rose.
It's wild to think about.
The actors who were almost in it.
And filming was intense.
Kate Winslet got pneumonia from being in the cold water.
They really suffered for their art.
And there are all these little details that most people don't know.
Like James Cameron drew the picture of Rose.
He's a talented artist.
They just flipped it in post-production because DiCaprio is right-handed.
It's a cool little tidbit.
It is, and Cameron aimed for historical accuracy.
But he also took some liberties.
Like with the character of First Officer Murdoch.
His portrayal was controversial.
And Rose having a Picasso painting in 1912.
That was anachronistic.
But it served a symbolic purpose.
Cameron made choices to enhance the story.
And the visual effects were groundbreaking.
They used miniatures and CGI.
To create those epic scenes.
It was revolutionary for its time.
And it set a new standard for visual effects.
It influenced so many films that came after.
So what's Titanic's legacy?
It's a film that changed Hollywood.
It showed that a historical romance could be a blockbuster.
And it revitalized the disaster genre.
It made Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet superstars.
They became global icons.
And it's been referenced and parodied countless times.
It's part of our collective consciousness.
And its themes are still relevant today.
Love class survival.
Titanic is a timeless classic.
It truly is.
So with all of this information,
I got the making of the film,
the critical
the
reception,
audience frenzy.
and the cultural impact,
What resonates most with you?
why do you think Titanic continues to fascinate us?
It's a question worth pondering.
Maybe you should check out some of those online essays and analyses.
They might offer some fresh perspectives.
Thanks for joining us on this cinematic journey.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.